Okay, ladies and gentlemen, fight 14 of this afternoon's programme. This is a heavyweight bare knuckle bout over three 3-minute rounds. Introducing you to the fighters. He fights in the blue corner from Cowdenbeath. Would you please welcome Chris Murphy? Ladies and gentlemen, fighting out of the red corner, he's crossed the border from Middlesbrough, England. Would you please welcome Dan Filger? Once again, three-minute rounds, the referee in charge of the action, Mr. James McAllister.
All right, here we go. A heavyweight bare knuckle boxing match coming up here, folks. It's the first time I've ever called a bare knuckle fight. I feel apprehensive. And we're off. Good jab. Right from the start. Oh, that was a massive right hand there by Dan Filger on Chris Murphy. Oh! Chris is up. That was a huge shot by Dan Filger. Dan coming out here. I think he can sense a finish. Chris is still moving pretty well. Oh, nice jab. Oh, another nice jab. Chris Murphy using his jab really well. Again, nice combination from Chris Murphy. These are good shots. Oh, another. Oh, brilliant shots here by Chris Murphy. The tide has turned in this fight already. Just straight shots down the middle that were really finding their target. That's the thing without the gloves, it's so much harder to stop them getting through. Oh, another massive right hand by Dan Filger. But Chris is back up. A lot of nose blood coming from the nose of Chris Murphy here. Oh, another huge overhand right by Dan Filger. Jeez, how is Chris Murphy taking these shots? This is just a little break in the action here for an eye poke. Again, with the bare fingers, it just always makes it that much more risky that a finger will end up in the eye. Never intentional, these things do just happen. And both these guys are bloodied up already. Dan Filger is blinking. I think he's struggling to see. There's already blood in his eyes, and he has two black eyes. I think his eyes have taken a couple of bad shots there. But from punches, not necessarily from pokes. Oh, another stiff jab there from Chris Murphy. Dan Filger still just walking forward. Chris obviously wanting to fight from the outside and pick Dan apart, but Dan has landed two huge right hands that have put Chris down. There it is, just coming over the top. Chris just needs to be so careful that he doesn't get backed up against the fence here, because that is where he's most vulnerable to Dan's big overhand right. Last 10 seconds here. Oh. And that's the end of the first round, ladies and gentlemen. Jesus, that was intense. Just take a look at the highlights here. Chris Murphy, oh. That right hand from Dan Filger just found its home a few times, and but look, the way Chris was sticking that jab in the face of Dan, Just makes it so much more difficult for Dan Folger to walk forward and march him down to do that, but Jesus. Oh my goodness. Oh, look at those, all those shots. They're the ones that bloodied up Dan's eyes. Just picked him apart. Chris Murphy's fighting a really smart fight, but so is Dan. They're both fighting to their strengths. Obviously Dan has way more power in his hands and could put Chris down with one massive shot. But Chris Murphy is, Jesus. Right, round 2, let's see how this goes. Oh, there's that big right hand. If Chris can keep landing his jab and keep sticking it in the face of Dan Folger, he can take this fight. But it just takes one of those massive right hands to put your lights out. Unbelievable Chris has got up from those. I thought he was out cold and then he bounced back up and he's just back in the game. Oh, Scott, that was a big shot. Acknowledge that. A lot of blood from the nose of Chris Murphy here. Dan just waiting, see if he can land that big right as he did a couple of times in the first. Chris just trying to land the straight shots. They have been his money shots so far this fight. Just the jab and the straight down the middle. He just keeps sticking it right in the face of Dan Folger, and it's just really uncomfortable. And you can see it's bloodied up his eyes, his nose. There's blood in the chest. He's rubbing his eyes there. Just taking away the vision of Dan Folger. Dan's getting backed up against the fence here. Oh, but all the time Dan just has that lethal power that has sat Chris down multiple times already. Chris just trying to find his way in there. Oh, this is where he has to be so careful. Oh, a lot of blood coming from the nose and mouth there, Chris Murphy. A lot of blood coming from the nose and around the eyes of Dan Folger as well. Wow, these two are scrapping this out. Neither guy looking like, oh man. They're both looking tired. Two heavyweights here. Oh, another vicious jab. Chris just showing him that lead hand. Oh, that's the end of the second. Oh man, another wild round. Chris's corner coming in. Telling him again, they're just telling him just to stick and move, stick and move. And it is working for him. Oh, Dan's eye is not in a good way at all. Neither's his nose. James McAllister just checking in on them there. Alright, it's time for the third round. Oh, he's kicking the corners out there. Alright, third and final round here, ladies and gentlemen, between Chris Murphy and Dan Folger. An absolute war so far and a bare knuckle heavyweight bout. Oh, here we go. Straight back. Again, Chris just trying to stick and move as has been so effective. And Dan just trying to come over the top with that big overhand right. Dan didn't land any particularly big shots in the second round there. Neither guy really working the body at all. They're both just trying to put each other away, really. Oh, there we go, a jab to the body there from Chris. There we go, going low, going high. Oh, but there's that big overhand right. Oh, there it is. Fighting out of southpaw now. Chris is switching stances. Again, that jab to the body is nice. Chris is boxing really well here. He's using his jab to the body, using his jab to the head, mixing it up, switching stances. Quite simple. He just knows that he can't hang around. He needs to be in and out. People often say the jab to the body is the safest punch because you can just jump in, land it, and get back out of there. And there's less time for hanging around in the pocket. Oh, nice. Chris with a bit of momentum here. That's the other thing, you never know. Dan might just be waiting for him to come into range so that then he can drop that huge right hand. Oh, big, heavy, deep breaths from both guys, especially from Dan. Dan looks fatigued. Third and final round. Both guys still boxing though. Two heavyweights, decent pace, and they're both still throwing, both still blocking. It's impressive. Nice, another good jab to the body there from Chris. Oh, deep breaths. Low hands from Dan. Chris still just sticking that jab. It's been his money shot the whole fight. Just jab. Oh, Chris looks exhausted as well. A lot of blood coming from his nose. Dipping in and out. Dan Folger just standing waiting for Chris. This is where Chris's footwork's so important. Get in range, then get straight back out of range again. Oh, look at the blood on the face of Dan Folger. Last 10 seconds of the fight here, ladies and gentlemen. Wow. What a fight. Unbelievable. Those two absolute animals. What a fight. Dan Folger obviously landed a few huge right hands which put Chris down multiple times in the first round, but Chris bounced back and he just kept sticking his jab in the face of Dan Folger just like a spear, again and again and again and again and again. A lot of damage on the face of both of those guys. That's the other thing with bare knuckle, you do see a lot of skin damage. I wonder how their hands are feeling as well. They'll both be sore tomorrow, but what a fight. Now for the judges' scorecards for the official decision. That was mental.
I don't understand it.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was fight 14 of the day. First of all, please get on your feet and show your appreciation for both these fighters. They gave absolutely all for your entertainment today, ladies and gents. Okay, the officials have reached a decision. It is a unanimous decision in favour of the red corner, Dan Folger. Please show appreciation for Chris Murphy.